Welcome back to Unshrinking You. I'm Tammy, and today I want to start with a question. When did you last feel fully here? Not thinking about what's next, not replaying what just happened, not going through the motions while your mind is 3 conversations ahead. Actually here, in your body, in the room, in this moment. We are in Gene Key 20 this week, the now. And the shadow we are all moving through collectively is called superficiality. And I want to tell you a story about the moment I really understood what that means in the body. Because it didn't happen in a meditation. It didn't happen in a therapy session. It happened during COVID with a client. And it changed the way I understand presence forever. It was 2020. We were all scared in a way that was hard to name. Not just scared of getting sick, scared of the uncertainty, scared of not being in control, scared of what it meant that the whole world had just stopped. I was working with a client, and we were both carrying it, that low hum of fear that COVID brought with it, the kind you don't always notice until you stop. We did an EFT tapping session together, tapping on the fear, on the uncertainty, on the specific feeling of not being safe in a world that had suddenly become very unpredictable. And at a certain point, I watched his shoulders drop. And I felt mine drop at exactly the same moment. Not because either of us decided to relax, not because we talked ourselves into feeling safe. Our nervous systems just landed at the same time. It felt like we were fully synced. Two bodies arriving in the same present moment together. And here's what I want you to hear. I haven't been afraid of COVID since that day. Not because the situation had changed, the world had gone mad, but because something in my body stopped bracing for it. The fear didn't leave through my mind. It left through my fascia, through my shoulders, through my breath, through the tissue that had been holding the pattern of that specific fear. And what replaced it wasn't positive thinking. It wasn't affirmations. It was presence. Actually felt physical presence. That is Gene Key 20. That is what we are working with this week. So let me explain what is actually happening in the body when we are in the shadow of Gene Key 20. Superficiality, in body terms, is a nervous system that never fully lands. It is the breath that stops halfway down, never quite reaching the belly. It is the feet that barely register the floor. You are walking, standing, moving through the world, but you are not actually feeling the ground beneath you. It is the legs that are always slightly activated, always ready to go, even when you're supposed to be resting. This is fascia holding the pattern of not being here. And here is what is important to understand. This is not about being shallow or unaware. This is your nervous system doing exactly what it learned to do. When being fully present meant being fully exposed. When landing in your body meant feeling things you didn't have the resources to feel. Your system learned to skim, to stay at the surface where things felt manageable. And fascia adapted around that. It shortened, thickened, and held the shape of perpetual bracing. Now here is where gene key 34 comes in, because it is the programming partner of gene key 20 this week. Gene key 34's shadow is force, which in real life looks like busyness, constant motion, the doing that keeps you moving so fast you never have to arrive anywhere. Force and superficiality run together. They are the same avoidance strategy wearing different clothes. The question they are both asking you this week is, are you busy being present or busy avoiding it? When we move into the gift of Gene Key 20, self-assurance, something very different becomes available. Self-assurance is not confidence performed for an audience. It is not having the perfect answer. It is what happens when you actually arrive in your own body. When you stop managing your appearance because you are too busy actually being here. There's a steadiness that comes from genuine presence that cannot be faked or manufactured, and it comes from the body, not the mind. So where does this show up in the fascia specifically? The lower body, feet, calves, hamstrings, and the plantar fascia on the soles of the feet is where we hold the pattern of not being grounded. There is a reason the expression is to be grounded. It is a physical reality before it is a metaphor. When we are in the shadow of superficiality, skimming, avoiding, perpetually half somewhere else, the lower body often becomes tight, disconnected, or numb. The feet stop feeling the floor. The legs stay braced. The connection between body and earth that is supposed to signal safety, I am here, I am supported, I am okay, gets interrupted. This week's Fascia Friday maneuver works specifically with this. We are going to physically land you in the present moment through your feet, your legs, and your lower body. You don't need equipment. You don't need experience. You need 10 minutes and the willingness to arrive. Come to the live Substack on Friday. Gene Key 20 is asking one thing of all of us this week. Not to be more productive, not to think more clearly, not to figure anything out, just to arrive. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath go all the way down. Let your feet feel the floor. That is presence. That is the gift. That is the unshrinking. Come find me in the Substack community thread this week. Link is in the show notes. Tell me where you feel the not being here. I want to know. Until Friday, keep unshrinking. Your body knows the way.